Hey, beautiful people, how you doing? This is Frank, and welcome again. The last time we spoke, I was talking about introverts and extroverts, and how that it doesn't matter if you're male or female. It just really comes down to your psychology and how your parents raised you, right? And I mentioned a little bit last time about masculinity and femininity, and how we all kind of carry this. That we all have a little bit of it all. So what I'm talking about today is just kind of about how it kind of portrays in our lives, and now within the last 30, 40 years, how things have changed. That, and I'm sorry to say this, but women are becoming more masculine and men are becoming a little more feminine. So these roles have been changing, and it's really causing a little bit of chaos within our culture. Now, I'm first one to say here, and listen, I think it's amazing that women are becoming more entrepreneurs, becoming more confident, and just holding positions that are just, amazing in the career and in the workforce. But there is a conflict, and I'll go more into deep depth with it and kind of explain what's happening. So I'm going to talk about the biology. Now, we have what we haven't changed much from cave people. We call it the primitive mind, right? We haven't really changed much. We still have the same kind of biology going on. Men still want to be the hero, the protector, and women, still have that ideology about how to multitask and how they're able to do that. And on a biology sense, it makes complete sense to the thriving of the species. Now, what's happening is this. Now, before I go further, last time I forgot to give you my email. So my email, if you want to contact me, because I'm going to be having events coming up, and if you want to just kind of know more what I'm doing. So my company on my website is called Finding Life's Compass. So I always knew if I ever got lost, I just needed a compass to get back home. So that's kind of my idea of how I love to help people. So Finding Life's Compass is my website. My email is frankw.banos@gmail.com. Okay? So what's going on here is this. Now, women, you guys are just amazing and beautiful. I can't say more about you. I love how your femininity, how you guys carry yourselves. Like I say, I love women, right? And it's also got me a lot of trouble. But anyways, we're not gonna talk about that, all right? But so what has happened is that we have a right hemisphere, a left hemisphere on our brains, right? Now, with men, there's a great divider down the middle. All right, this great divider, it doesn't let us go into our left side and our right side, which we have the feminine side and the masculine side. It doesn't let us access it easily. We do have what we call a percentage, and what I mean is that men are either born with a certain percentage of femininity and a certain percentage of masculinity. Now, this is proven fact through biology and science. Men that are left-handed, men that are gay, they have an easier way of connecting to the other side of the hemisphere, where they go bounce back and forth and kind of getting more emotionally attached to either side. Now, with women, there isn't that barrier. That barrier doesn't really exist. If it does, it's very thin. And what it is that you're able to go from right brain to left brain really easily, which is your masculine and feminine. You could transfer back and forth. So in the workforce, which is amazing and actually helps you guys, is that you could go and have a masculine voice, because let's just face it, if you don't have a masculine voice at work, you're not going to be respected. You're not going to be looked at to give ideas. So you have to have that voice. And I'm saying you have to have it. And you don't have to have it all the time. There's certain individuals, like I said, like your subordinates, you got to have a little bit more of a masculine voice. I need this now, get this done. That kind of voice, time is the essence. But people that are at work that are your equal, you don't have to do so much. And people that are above you, it's a balance. It's all a balance. So it's knowing when to have that voice and when not to have that voice. Because sometimes having that voice will really, really help you. Now, this is where it comes down to where we're having an issue, is that when you're owning your voice at work and you're getting the job done and you're being woman on top and doing your thing, well, now you're taking that masculine energy and you're bringing it home. And unfortunately, as men, if he's married to you, as your boyfriend, apparently he likes women, and
and he is really now, he's looking forward to seeing you, but what he's getting is another man. And it's saying, okay, how come you haven't done this, and what's going on here? And I'm not saying it's, you know, complaining about certain things, but it's just that tone of voice and what's going on within the relationship. So we men, how can I put this? It's not that we're not appreciative of that. We are so appreciative of a confident woman. A woman that's confident, self-esteem, motivated. It's nothing sexier than that. But the thing is, when you start coming at us as another man, then now you're getting two men that are clashing. And that's where the difficulty happens. This is where we start having a lot of difficulty. And I've worked with a lot of different women, and especially entrepreneurs, and this concept, and it's just, let's just say, if you come at me like a man, I'm going to react to you like a man, plain and simple. Because if you're talking like a guy, well, I'm going to assume that you're thinking like me, that you're just a very highly emotional man, right? And this is where us guys, you know, we're at fault too. We say things like, oh, just get over it, you know, get over it, you'll be fine. Well, that doesn't work for women. Women need to express, they need to talk it through. We need to just listen. Now, that's the hard part about us, is we're solvers, we're problem solvers. We want to solve your problems. Why? Because we feel like we're validated, that you need us. Obviously, women, you don't need us anymore, right? You make your own money, you can do whatever you need, you can hunt if you want, you know. But the thing is with us is that we still need to feel needed. And I'm going to share a secret with you right now, ladies. The secret to a man is that just make him feel like he's your hero. If you can make him feel like he's your hero, there is nothing we won't do for you. And I'm not saying you're a damsel in distress. It's not about that. What I'm saying is that it's the little things, you know? Ask yourself, what is that one masculine thing you don't like doing? You know, I've asked a lot of women this question, and a lot of women say things like going to the mechanic, throwing in the trash. So let's say you need your car oil change, and your man's right there, and you're asking him, hey, can you get my oil change? Can you get my oil change? Right? What we're hearing, and believe it, your voice is actually music to our ears. But when it's that kind of attack, imagine that music is like somebody scratching the record player. It's like the remix, right? It's not beautiful anymore. So if you just kind of say, babe, I'm so appreciative of you that you could take this car and I don't have to deal with the mechanics. I don't have to deal with the oily and the messes at this mechanic shop. That if you just build up that let's say his ego in a way, but at the same time just build up the hero within him, I'm telling you, there won't be a day where you have to take your car to the mechanic. And it goes vice versa, you know. It's when we're appreciated more, we want to do more. But with guys, like I said, we just want to feel like we're a hero and we can help you. And this is why we're always trying to solve your problems, because we look for the problem, we hunt it, we solve it, and we move on. We think we're helping you. And guys, in reality, sometimes you just got to listen. But you got to ask also is, hey, get to the point, right? Because a lot of times, ladies, you know, you could be a little long-winded. Now, some guys and some women might be saying, wait, I do this more masculine or I do this more feminine. There is a balance within you. It's never black and white, especially if it's a woman that has to be more masculine, that has to be more on top of things. She's going to be in that mind frame. Guys, we have to, help her get back into that femininity. Well, she's going to help us get back into our masculinity. And what I say is that you're giving him the space and she's giving you the space to be masculine or feminine, whatever it is that you like to do. Now, there's so many different variations when it comes to masculinity and femininity. There's so much more that could go on and on and on. But at the end of the day, it's appreciation. It's just making each other feel good. And just understanding that we're not, we're not the same. If we were the same, I don't think the species would survive. We're not the same people. We're not if you gotta really, us guys have to take out our head and say, well, this is not just an emotional man, get over it, right? We have to say, this is a woman. She needs her space. She needs to maybe vent. She needs whatever she needs. She needs to be feminine again. Guys, you know, take your charge where you can, but also give her the space where she needs it. And vice versa, ladies. For us guys,
when we get a little aggressive, and let's say somebody cuts us off on the freeway. Now here's a really big key, and I want you to kind of have the concept here. If we start yelling at the guy, do me a favor, don't get on the other guy's side. Do not start saying, well, you didn't see him, he had his blinker on. To us, another guy to another guy wouldn't say that. To us, if you're kind of defending the other guy, well, now you're not on my team, you're on the other guy's team. And team is a big deal for guys, because I need a reliable team member to be on my side just in case that tiger comes. If you're not on my side, then you're on the side of the enemy. And that's a whole different ballgame. So just be conscious of it, especially if, and guys, the reason why they're trying to calm your testosterone down, and women feel a little attention, they're trying to relieve that tension. But in reality, they don't realize that demasculating us is actually making us more angry. So try to see this on your day-to-day, how this works and how this may help you. And please, let me know how it can help. Like I said, send me an email. I would love to chit-chat with you. Like I said, I'm going to have a couple of events coming up on this topic, on communication and relationships, and how we all could get along on masculine and femininity, introvert and extrovert. It's all the same concept. You don't have to be male or female to be one masculine or more feminine. It's a balance within us. We all have this balance. A little history about myself. I grew up with a lot of women in the house. and how can I put this? It's kind of funny to put my family out on blast like this, but I got 2 sisters, and I got my mom, and I have my dad. My dad, being a typical Latino man, just was a hard worker. He worked all the time to support us. And I was left alone with the ladies. Well, in, I think it's the 80s, there was a war in Central America. My dad's from Central America, and he brought over his 2 sisters, his grandmother, and their 2 cousins. Well, I was left in a house with 8 women, and oh my God, there was moments that I just could not understand why I could not wear what I wanted to wear. And they would say, well, you shouldn't wear this and wear that. And it just blew my mind. And a funny story that has happened to me was, I remember being a little kid, and I would go in the shower, and I remember one time you guys have so many different bottles for different things that I have no idea. There's something for color, there's texture, I used to have fun, and I used to mess with my sisters and sorry, Christy, I used to mix your shampoo bottles together. Yeah, I was that little brother. But at one point, I remember I was thinking that we were poor, and we weren't poor. We lived well, but we weren't rich either. But I remember thinking, man, this shampoo has no bubbles, right? And I was like, why does the shampoo have no bubbles? I could barely read. And I go, it's just, no, whatever. So for 2 weeks, I used this shampoo that had no bubbles. And I just thought something was wrong. So finally, I just went, Mom, what is wrong with this shampoo? And she goes, oh, mijo, do me a favor, bring me the bottle. I go, sure. And I bring the bottle to her. She goes, Frankie, it's conditioner. What the hell is conditioner? I was a little kid with a flat top. I was, silky smooth and greasy for a long time. Boys don't understand that stuff. What conditioner is now, I know, because, they've educated me and, why your hair needs conditioner. But it was things like this that always had me questioning, like, why women do certain things. And I was confused, like, why you guys, and I always wanted to be a smelly boy playing with trucks, and my sisters were like, you're dirty. And I was always proud of, yeah, I'm dirty. I was outside playing, right? And now when I got in college, I took a couple of courses on psychology of women. And by the way, I looked for psychology of man. It doesn't exist. Maybe we need to change that, right? But it blew my mind away. And ever since I was little, it just, that concept of, masculinity and femininity, how betrayed and how it works, just now I'm getting the idea of how we all kind of interact with each other. And this comes from when we're cave people, from primitive mind, to how we got here today. So like I said, if you want to know more, please send me an email. We'll talk. And I look forward to seeing you in my next event. I might have one in February 20th, kind of working out the details. But please, if you want to come, contact me. And I look forward to talking to you. You guys have an amazing night. Bye.